coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seething. The truth it is scalding, and now you are molding and coping so hard, coping and seething.
Yahoo! We gone!
Hell yeah!
La la la, la la la.
But it's a me, Mario.
Yeah, tell it to the judge.
Go have a coffee with your marketing team and just terrify them. With the possibility of what's going to happen if they don't give you what you want.
But hey, that's just a theory. A theory.
You are what they call, what do they call it? A lol cow? Is that what they say? That is still the stupidest fucking word I've ever heard. A lol cow. Dude, this is...
Don't watch. Turn off the TV. Go and touch grass, please, for God's sake.
It's astounding. This mortal really is something else. Look at that brilliant form. There can be no doubt. This is the true power, complete in all its majesty. This is Autonomous Ultra Incel.
Victimizers beware. The racist and biggest greatest nightmares. Social justice warriors. Get triggered.
It's the bias response team.
If you've been offended, your feelings must be defended. Go! The freedom of expression is a microaggression. Here comes Angela Freddy. He's always ready to fight fascism with fascism.
Starbucks windows don't stand a chance.
Ethic enhancer. He's a systematic racism finder. Using the powers of screaming and shame, they win every debate by calling your name. They're heroes who think that they're victims. Social justice warriors. Get triggered. Engines roar through the ash gray skies. The wasteland burns, but hope won't die. Every screen's a twisted lie, built to break us, make us comply. They poison the heroes, rewrite the tales. Turn legends to dust, leave us frail. But we're not done, we won't bow down. Through the wreckage, we'll take the crown. Steel hearts ignite, fire in our veins. Freedom's calling, breaking the chains. They can't erase what we already know. HyperDrive now,
Wow. Okay. Things are going crazy on the internet today. And it's not just today, it's been a couple of days now, but holy crap. Are we in for quite the ride down Mentality Boulevard today, ladies, gentlemen, and nothing in between? Welcome once again to another voyage of discovery, racing through the waste of the internet to the further reaches of sanity on another never-ending chapter of the quest to rid the universe of absolute bollocks. Things are getting a bit weird out there at the moment. We've got Doctor Who stuff I need to cover because, of course, we've got that. We've got PlayStation doing surveys about Nintendo, and we've got a meltdown of such unquantifiable proportions at the moment as to be truly baffling. Yes, I'm up to date. I have seen the latest video. Well, I haven't seen it yet, actually, but I am well aware of it, as others have been deleted, which has just completely thrown my ability to prepare this show out of whack. So that's lovely. Thanks very much, mate. We'll get to him in a little while. But of course, before we set off, please ensure that you keep your brains inside the vehicle at all times with your eyeballs firmly screwed to the screen. And I really think today you're going to have to make sure you're doing that, because at any moment, somebody might just pull the rug out from the entire thing and force me to completely restructure the entire show. So we'll see. We'll see what's up with that, won't we? But of course, before we get into everything, let's see who we've got already here. There's actually quite a few of you guys. It's nice to see you. Nathan Moon was here and got first, which is a first, because usually it's Dramatic Allure here about 3 hours before the show starts telling me that she's first. So I hope she's all right, because she's not here right now, at least not that I'm aware of. Divining Dragon is here, though, with his happy, welcoming, friendly, inoffensive, non-denominational blessings for everybody. Love to see that. Love to see it. Scott W is here saying, the quiet part out loud, Sungrand is confusing me. Oh, buddy, you are not the only one. Every couple of hours at the moment, this guy radically changes direction and swerves everybody. And all right, let's address it, because I'm gonna get to it. It's the main event, of course. It's gonna be the lion's share of the show today, trying to keep up with the dude. I'm worried about him a bit, actually. You know, I don't like to see people go off the deep end for real, especially people that I have enjoyed and like. And whereas yesterday people were genuinely wondering if he was trolling, evidently since then it's all become very, very clear that the guy is going a bit crazy. He's gone off the reservation, and we'll even try and keep up with that, but we'll get to that. Dividing Dragon, you are not alone, Scott. That's it. Rio is here. Hello, and shout out to you as well. Robin Oz, thank you for being here. I got your DMs earlier on, by the way. Thank you for that. Yeah, we're all trying to figure out just exactly what the heck is going on here, guys. Let's try not to eat our own, like Smash JT does. Says skibbity skibbity. Yes, bring in the Ohio Ungat El Riz. Sigma Energy. I fucking don't know. It's too early in the morning for brain rot. It's 7 o'clock in the morning for me when I start this show. I've got a clue what the hell's going on. Yeah, Sardoc is here as well. Yeah, I said, did I shout you out? No, probably not yet. Oh, man. Try streaming first thing in the morning before you even say good morning to your family. It's tough stuff. Nikki Tang, wow, first time watching live stream. Hello, welcome. Welcome to the show. It's always good when people show up, and even if you're new and you're not used to seeing me in a capacity that you can talk to. I know. Well, that's part of living in the future, isn't it? We've got Alexander Malcolm Badnock, not sure. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. It sounds Scottish. I like it. Says hi all. Justin Davis, Doctor Who, indeed. Ed's Hobby Cafe. Good evening, all. Nice to see you. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate you all being here. Of course, you are all really very, very welcome. We're going to try and keep our hands, at least one hand on sanity as we go down this rabbit hole, because it is getting a little bit crazy out there. It's kind of hard to keep up with everything that's going on. And that's without even mentioning Doctor Who, which is, you know, kind of my usual remit. But we have got results coming in already for the 2nd, 15th, or 41st series of that. So there we go. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into everything, of course, as soon as we can. But of course, in the meantime, guys, if you are liking the stream, you know what to do.
Like the stream.
And of course, if you have any questions or comments, or you just need to pull over for a second, it all gets too much for you, can't handle it, need to take a break, need to pull over and puke out the windows, just tip your driver and all will be well. All right. What the fuck is going on today? Well, we'll find out. But let's start with something that I am relatively sure will not be deleted from the internet in the next 10 minutes. But obviously, let's not linger on it for too long in case everything else that I have prepped for the show is deleted from the internet in the next 10 minutes. We're going to start off with Doctor Who because it's just tradition at this point. Doctor Who. Okay. I did a review. It went very well. A lot of people have watched it, which is great considering it began as a live stream, but I structured it like a video, so it's worked out quite well. We then, of course, talked about it on WTF Live. The overwhelming consensus by the true fans, the Truvians, if you like, is that the show is dead. The show is cooked. It's going bye-bye in 8 weeks' time, and it will not be back for a while. And it is absolutely the right course of action. It needs to go away. It definitely needs to get in the sea, frankly, because, well, it's just gone. Again, it's nothing like it once was. It's a show that has completely lost its way, and we're just watching. I mean, this is one of the most cringe things I've ever seen in my entire life. Planet of the Incels. Not just a meme, it's a line in the episode. It's actually, when you actually think about it from the perspective of the person who made it, you become aware very quickly. It was the entire premise of the episode was, oh, what if I did Planet of the Incels? That'll get those chuds. Yeah. All right, buddy. Whatever you think. Great. Thanks for giving us more power. And so that's why that's why we are in the position that we're currently in, where we know full well that the show is cooked. The show is done. There's no bouncing back from its current iteration. It was bad last series. This series kicks off with a gigantic, colossal cope. And it's just unbelievable, really. But there you go. Anyway, that's what we're looking at. And it's a terrible piece of crap episode. No one's enjoying it apart from I mean, I spent yesterday having like arguments with idiots on X that I was trying to be extremely nice and polite just to see how long it would take for them to block me if I was trying to go out of my way to be nice to them. And I still got blocked by about half a dozen people because they're not interested in talking to people who live in reality. They're just not. They want to felt us more badly than they want to support the show, and so there we go. That's basically how it is. So yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like rats on a sinking ship. You know, they're supposed to desert it, but there's nowhere for them to go, so they're just running around freaking out. And every time one of us shows up in their feed and tells them the flat out truth that the episode is disastrous and the show is cooked, unfortunately, they are some of the most dented fans on the internet. They can't handle reality. They can't handle being told the truth. And this is a shameful thing for not only Great Britain, but for the world in general, that there is actually a generation of people out there who have completely fallen hook, line, and sinker for the fucking postmodern crap that's being pushed in their direction. They're picking it up. They're ingesting it. They're allowing it to override their sanity and their common sense. And then they are going out there onto the internet thinking that they're all self-righteous and wonderful and virtuous and wonderful and valid. And then we come along and go, no, actually, you know, that was a piece of shit. That was a piece of shit. And it was really obvious that the guy is only doing it to attack his critics. And they're like, well, you seem really angry. You must be an incel. And it's like, not really, mate. I'm married and have a second kid coming. And they're like, oh, well, you know, why are you so dented by this then? Well, actually, no, it's you. You see, you are the one who's being terminally insane and angry and aggressive to us. We're just telling you the show sucked. I'm trying to help you realize that there are better things you could be doing with your time than engaging with this TV show that is insulting your intelligence. That's ridiculous. You're a filthy Yahtzee, blah, blah, far right, blah, blah, transphobe. Okay, buddy. And then it's funny because I had like 4 or 5 conversations on X in the last couple of days about an episode of Doctor Who that involved nothing to do with trans ideology whatsoever. Every last one of them became about trans people. Everyone. They're like, well, trans people exist, you know, trans children exist. And blah, 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 blah. Then it's my unfortunate duty to turn around to them and tell them that no, they don't actually exist. It's actually bollocks. It's just mentally ill parents. That's what's up with that. And of course, then you get blocked. But there you go. So anyway, it doesn't matter any of this really, because at the end of the day, no matter what these people say, no matter how terminally they defend this show, it's going away. It's done. It's dusted. Doctor Who suffers major ratings blow as Ncuti Gatwa returns for the new series amid Axe fears. But fans have spotted one problem. Well, I mean, it's more than one problem, but we do have a fair few problems to talk about. Let's, at first we need to absolutely address the most obvious thing, and that is the ratings. I talked about it in a video yesterday, but we might as well continue to talk about it because now we're looking at some serious shit. We speculated that it would be bad, that it could actually end up being worse than series 114 or 40. But at no point did a single episode in 114 or 40 get as low as 2.0 million. And I know there's some posts being shared around out there by the usual sources that are saying it's 2.05 million, but that has not been recognized officially yet. And that might have something to do with the +7s or +7s on all screens. And that's fine. If that's what it turns out to have been overall, okay. But that doesn't change the fact that the overnight ratings are 2 million even. Another 50,000 people isn't going to make that much of a difference. Okay, it would stop it from being the lowest of all time, but at the end of the day, it's still the lowest season opener ever. And the season opener historically has been one of the strongest episodes of every single series. Every single series. Last year, the series opener got 2.6. So if you just compare the 2024 series opener with the current series opener, you are looking at a deficit of 600,000 people. And when you started off with 2.6, that is a significant chunk. That's more than a fifth. Gone. Never coming back. Totally disappeared. And Doctor Who is not a series that suddenly, apart from one random freak occurrence last year, where there was one episode that outperformed the first episode, it doesn't look very good at all, does it? I mean, if you actually look at the accumulated ratings, hang on a second, I'll get it on the screen for last year. 1 second, let me get it up there. All right. Last year, Doctor Who started off with 2.6. Immediately, within the space of one episode airing, by an hour later, not even an hour later, by the time the second episode aired, because they pushed out 2 at once, 200,000 people were gone. They didn't come back the next week. It fell to 2.04, which at that point was the lowest rated ever. And that was Boom. It was unfortunate because Boom was probably the better episode of the bunch. but every episode is a referendum on what you saw the week before. So that's where you started to see some real drop-offs. Some big, big drop-offs. 500,000 people just gone like that. But then, of course, that episode was fairly okay, so it bounced back and actually outperformed the first episode by 20,000 people. Of course, that was 73 yards, and we also have a very good excuse for that. The FA Cup final was on in pubs, and Doctor Who was on after it. TVs were already on. Getting back, we got to Dot and Bubble, and it had fallen right back down, 2.12. Lost another million by the time of Rogue, and then Rogue pissed off enough people to lose another 100,000. So Ruby Sunday, Legend of Ruby Sunday, became the lowest rated episode of Doctor Who ever. Now, I'm not going to drag up all of the classic Who ratings. I've done that before. I have that. Those videos are made. They were made a year ago. If anyone wants to actually get involved and have a look at that, then you go right ahead. But I have done the research, and this is the low point of the entire show. Since 1963, they had never had an episode that had fewer than this watching live when it actually broadcast, which, regardless of what people might say, oh, Disney Plus, yeah, all right, 5 figures. So that doesn't even count. Right? Disney Plus is irrelevant. Oh, well, what about the 7 days? What about the 7 days? It could be the same people watching it on different devices over and over and over again. This is the number that matters. This is still the number that matters. The people who actually sit down in front of their TV in the UK and watch this show when it's on. It's still the one true indicator of the health of the show. There can be no question about it. No ifs, ands, or buts. That's the situation. That's what it is. That's the way it is. And if it's 2.02 million, that was the lowest of all time. Until, of course, this weekend, where we now lost the remaining 20,000 or whatever it was people to get to an even 2 mil. So again, if you look, I mean, the high point and the low point of this entire series is 580,000 people gone. So if we're expecting to see the same here, you're looking at 1.4 million people. Yeah. There we go. James Up is here for $20. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you coming in for that. That's a good one. And says, don't know if you got to Sungrand yet. Not yet. No, not yet. Just started. Says, but he put out another video an hour ago, linked it to you in the DM. I'm kind of strange. Yes, I'm aware, buddy. I'm aware. When I was putting together the show, this is why I was a minute late starting, because about 20 minutes before I started the show, I was opening the links that I had to the other videos that I was going to look at, because I was going to cover the last 3, starting with his video that got completely felted by the fans, then his weird angry troll video that was not a troll at all but a meltdown, and then the video that he put out after that where he was pretending to play 4D chess like it was all part of the plan. But in the process, that video is still here, but the meltdown video has now been deleted. So if I want to watch that, the only way I know how to watch that is to rewatch Hypnocast yesterday, which I probably will do. And then, yes, the newest video on the channel is directly calling out Hypnotic and Smash JT and RadART, which is a whole new level of strange. So we're going to get into that, and hopefully I'm not going to lean on this for too long, because I'm genuinely worried they'll delete his fucking video or his whole channel or something in the next hour if I don't cover it soon. So yes, I'm aware, buddy, and I appreciate you linking it to me anyway, though, of course. Thank you very much for bothering, and thank you for the 20.
I got this new anime plot. Basically, there's this high school girl, except she's got huge boobs. I mean, some serious hunkers. A real set of badonkers. Packing some Doban hunkeros. Massive da hunka bankaloos. Big ol' Tanhangera cougars. What happens next? Transfer student shows up one day with even bigger bunk hanaga hoogs. Humongous hungalamga no logangas.
But before we get to that, there's a couple other things I wanted to address. The first of which is Doctor Who. I'm relatively sure that Sungrand Studios will not delete his video in the next hour. Usually takes him a little longer than that to see the error of his ways. I do feel bad though, because I've used this guy's. Well, we'll get to it. So obviously at this point, Doctor Who is at 2 million. That's your baseline. If this follows the trajectory of most normal series, it will lose up to half of them by the time we get to the middle of the show. Ryan wants it to hit under 1 million. I'd love to see that too. It would be hilarious for a show that very desperately deserves to get humiliated at this point for insulting the intelligence of the fans, for insulting common sense, for dick riding an agenda that has absolutely nothing to do with reality, and all the mistakes you can possibly make in the era of wokeness and post-wokeness and all that rubbish. So, yeah, who goddamn knows? By the time we get to episode 4, 5, and 6, we could be as low as 1 million viewers. We could be lower than that. Hard to say. Hard to say. What I will say confidently is that this is the last series of Doctor Who that we'll see for quite a while. RTD, of course, came out, said in his little interview that he did, and I'm sure he's regretting saying every word of that the show is like Robin Hood now or something, that it might pause for a while, then a new generation will come along and pick it up again, and that is tacit admittance that the show in its current iteration is over. There's no movement from Disney. Let's not forget they had a Doctor Who convention in LA, and nobody from Disney attended. It's done. It's cooked. It's fucking done. I mean, if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's a duck, right? If it walks like a woke and quacks like a duck, like a woke, it's woke. And if it walks like a cancelled show, quacks like a cancelled show, you know the rest. So that's it. The Occam's razor is what comes into play here. As I was trying to explain to someone yesterday before they blocked me, the simplest solution is most of the time the correct one. And in this particular situation, a show like this that has lost 80% of its audience from RTD to RTD, and about half of those numbers disappearing in the last 3 or 4 years, is gone. It's done. It's toast. It has nothing to offer anyone. There's not enough people watching for it to be justifiable. The BBC can't afford to fund it, not to the standards it currently is. Everyone associated with it seems to be gone. RTD tacitly admitted that he was being replaced or in talks to be replaced. Ncuti Gatwa disappeared. He was censored when he said that there was going to be a third series. Somebody asked him at a recent event. He was standing outside a fake TARDIS with Verada Setu, and someone straight up asked him about series 3, and her face flinched. He said, "Oh, I don't know. I couldn't possibly say. I don't know anything about it." He got told off by the BBC for running his mouth about that. Rees like a woke. You're right, veteran gamer. You're right. That's what I should have said. It's just kind of hard in the morning to get that pitch, you know. But there you go. No, I mean, it's transparently obvious that in the next 7 weeks or so, we are going to see some shockingly low numbers. It would take a true freak of nature for the numbers to actually get up from this. It really isn't going to happen. And don't forget as well, they don't care anymore. They know it's done. They know they're getting nowhere with this. Remember how they announced it? The current series, it was sharted out into the middle of an under 20s Six Nations rugby match. Like, that's, if you had to ask me to come up with a list of the 5 worst possible ways to announce a new series of Doctor Who, I wouldn't even give you that, because it would be too stupid to even consider viable. But hey, that's what happened. That's what happened. Indeed. So there we go. Doctor Who is toasted, but I want to see what they're saying in the Daily Mail. Doctor Who has received its lowest overnight ratings to date. Yes, the record is broken again. For the second time in the Ncuti Gatwa RTD return run, Doctor Who has plummeted, the third time, actually, because it did it twice last series, has actually plummeted below the low point of the entire series, which was a McCoy episode series before. And it was not long before it got cancelled, like some months before the show got cancelled. And it's gone lower than that now 3 times under RTD and Gatwa. The sci-fi series made its grand return during prime time on Saturday night. Daily Mail. There was nothing grand about it, buddy. but only attracted 2 million viewers as Varada Sethu became Shruti's new companion, Belinda Chandra. Look, the UK is currently in a very, very strange position. A very strange position indeed. If the British population just had the balls, yes, I've seen the Sungrand video. It's queued up. We'll watch it. If we, everyone's just asking me about that. I've got like 8 DMs with that link now. And thank you, everybody. Where was I? I can't think now. It's completely crashed my train of thought. But yeah, okay. So the UK is in this very strange paradigm at the moment. Politically, it's completely fucked. And unfortunately, the British people, the population of the UK, are too polite, I think, to go full-blown America and vote in someone like a Donald Trump figure to do anything about it. America can fix itself. It just seems to be beyond the UK to do that. People are too felt. It's been 30 years of this shit since Blair got in until today. This is the trajectory the UK has been on. I saw this 45-minute video by Sargon of Akkad where he's just walking around Swindon counting closed shops, graffiti covered, boarded up like architecture, and then walking through a half-closed mall. It's embarrassing, man, what's happened to that place. And they're not going to do anything about it. They're not going to do anything about it, but in their own little way, they like to rebel. And the way that they rebel is by refusing to engage with stuff that insults their national identity. So when you tell me, here comes a new series of Doctor Who, and no one in it is British, or at least no one in it is historically British. You have an African doctor and an Indian assistant. And whether people want to admit it or not, I can imagine a whole bunch of British people flinching when they hear that. So there we go. We're not going to put up with this much more. So the show's done. It was beaten by Gladiators. I didn't even... Is that Gladiators as in like the 90s Gladiators? Is that back? With like Wolf and Jet and stuff? Well, I mean, obviously not them anymore. They'd be too old. But oh my God, it is. Oh my God, it's Gladiators. Ha! How weird is that? That beat Doctor Who. I used to like that show, but damn, man. Oh, no. While Doctor Who has had a large fan base since it aired in 1963, many fans have said the same thing. The drop in views is down to the episode being released on BBC iPlayer during the day. That's not why. It's not why. It's because it's insulting to the British national identity. There's no British people in Doctor Who. Why would they watch? This is just indicative of the exact set of things that have led this country to where that country, I'm not there, to where it is today. The mass replacement of British people in Britain. So now you're giving the institutions, the pop culture of the countries over to these fucking foreigners. That would be like me living in the Philippines if they wanted me to, run for president and also cast only white foreigners in all of their TV shows and movies. They would never do that. They would never do that. They'd be like, why would we do that? We're not that nationality. We're Filipino. We want to see Filipino TV. Bad as it is. Terrible. But there you go. That's what they get. That's what they want. So that's why. I mean, you just even look at the actual performance of Varada Sethu. I don't know if it was direction or if she's just an atrociously bad actress. Hello, Adam. But she was awful in this episode. She was surly, standoffish, mean-spirited, obtuse, nasty, and of course, overly competent, massively overcompetent. Nothing that happened to her in this insane sequence of events. And people are like, well, Rose was okay when she started the show. It's like, no, Rose was fucking terrified by some mannequins. It took the doctor showing up and contextualizing it for her to even begin to accept the things he was saying. Whereas this bitch, before she's even met or heard of the Doctor, is already giving it like that to a bunch of robots holding a gun at her head and vaporizing the cat. No one would react like this. It's completely unbelievable. She is a Mary Sue. She's a girl boss. It's even worse because she's a complete bitch throughout the entire episode. She's a bitch to literally everybody she meets. She talks shit to the Doctor. She talks shit to the fucking survivors. She talks shit to everybody. And yet everybody, apart from the one white guy, turns around and tells her how great she is. Until eventually the Doctor literally grabs her, goes, "You are amazing," which is the absolute poster girl line for any Mary Sue character, followed by a huge rocket kick to the sky and shouting, "Yas, Queen." I mean, I'm not joking. He actually said, "Yas, Queen." The memes are now running the show. There is nothing about this show that is in any way indicative of Doctor Who. You haven't even seen a Dalek yet, or a Cyberman, or Sontaran, or any classic villain. It is maddening. Oh well, it's done anyway. But they're trying to blame it on iPlayer, which they tried to do last year, but it didn't make a difference because, again, if you look at the actual numbers, iPlayer helped it. Whenever it came in with 2.6, it would get to 401. 2.4, it gets to 3.91. You get 1.5 million to 2 million extra viewers from iPlayer over the course of a week. And people saying, "Oh, it's because it came out on iPlayer first." Well, then why don't the numbers have why doesn't this say 5 million people then and boost it from 2.6 to 8 million or something? Because not that many people are even watching on iPlayer. The lion's share of people still watched on terrestrial television. So no, iPlayer is not the reason the show is not working. It's insane to say. A BBC spokesman said at the time that overnight ratings are not an indication of the popularity of a TV show. Sorry, what? Overnight ratings are not an indication of popularity of a TV show. That's like saying that getting punched in the face is not an indication of the unpopularity of a person. That's fucking nonsense. That's fucking nonsense. If, okay, Mr. BBC spokesman, if overnight ratings are not an indication of the popularity of a TV show, then why the fuck do they exist? Why do you measure them at all? Why have we measured them for decades? If they are not an indication of the popularity of a show, then why do you care? What is the metric for the popularity of a show then? What is it? Oh, it's conveniently something that we'll never have access to and cannot be quantified. You know what that is? That's a particular set of strategies that you are employing here to try and deal with the fact that the show is massively unpopular.
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seething. The truth that it's scalding, and now you are molding and coping so hard. Coping and seething.
All right. That'll do. Doctor Who is cooked. No question. It's done. Mephisto X for £10, rocking out. If I was an alien lurking in on planet Earth, I would think there were only two species, black men and white women, and weak soy boy white men. Yeah, well, if you were intercepting the TV signal, absolutely. If you were intercepting the TV signal from the UK, guys, yeah, 100%. No question about it. Anyone would be forgiven at this point, especially like go for Hollywood movies or British TV or American TV. Yeah, you'd be convinced that men and women are just different colors on Earth. Good point.
Drop it.
All right. You know what? I'm starting to worry that we're going to lose our ability to actually engage with this crash out that's going on with Sungrand. So let's just get to it. You guys want me to react to it? We'll get to it. There's some other stuff I wanted to talk about. I was going to do this all in the order that it actually happened, but we'll go back and we'll have a look as we go. Okay. Let's just acknowledge, first of all, what we're actually looking at. So on Hypnocast yesterday, Hypnotic covered it. I was in the chat. I was watching. And, of course, he made this video. It came out about 36 hours ago or so, where he was absolutely crashing out, absolutely melting down about the fact that his choice, because it is a choice, Jarrell, whether you like it or not, his choice to side with Nintendo over the fans in the matter of the Switch 2 pricing was an ill-advised one. And it's unfortunate. And I saw it coming myself a while away, like 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 videos away from him ago, rather. Yeah, I know he's out with a new video. I know, guys. I know. We're getting to it. And he started off making the usual kind of videos that he would make. But in this particular situation, he had to go with where his bread is buttered. He's a Nintendo dev. He's an indie Nintendo dev. He absolutely needs to be able to continue working. Okay, and I understand that. I understand that. He should have been more transparent about it, though, because a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people who have come into his channel, myself included, over the last 6 to 8 months, because of his response videos to Ubisoft, to the destruction of Ubisoft and the impending and then, subsequent breakdown of Ubisoft after the release of Assassin's Creed Shadows. He said a lot of the things that people really enjoyed. He has a mature disposition and his demeanor. He puts on a suit. He stands there. He explains to Ubisoft as if he's like a hired consultant or something, that they have children running their marketing, they have children running their PR, and that these things have destroyed Ubisoft and destroyed that game's ability to resonate. We're not even talking about Assassin's Creed Shadows anymore, and it's not even been out for a month yet. I knew that would happen. There was much more conversation about it before it came out than there was afterwards. No one's talking about it anymore. No one asks me to stream it. No, everyone just wants to see more Suikoden, which we'll be doing later on today, by the way. Had some things coming up over the weekend. I wanted to stream it, but I couldn't. But I'll get around to that today. And yeah, he decided, okay, I have to side with Nintendo here because that's where I work, basically. And he wants to be developing games for the Switch too, because he's developing games for the Switch. I understand that. Again, he didn't say it. He just tried to conduct himself as the adult in the room, in a room that is surrounded by thousands of screaming children, apparently, although I don't see that myself. He tried to portray himself as the lone standing adult in the room who can see all sides of this before they happen. Unfortunately, at that point, it wasn't him representing gamers versus a company that's insulting our intelligence. That is him insulting our intelligence. So, as you should expect, if you know anything about the internet, you are going to get fucking destroyed if you try and do something like that. You should never, ever, ever behave like that towards the rest of the internet, because you'll get felted. And he did. He got 1 million fucking people out there going, who the hell do you think you are? I don't know who this Burke is, but why is he talking to us like we don't understand the situation? Why is he talking to us like he's better than us? Why is he talking to us like he has knowledge that we don't have? When he didn't. And to the best of his ability, he tried to explain the reason for the outrageous price hike of the Nintendo Switch 2 he couldn't come up with anything we hadn't already heard. He's blaming things like inflation. He's saying, oh, well, technology costs more, blah, blah, blah. He's saying it's future proofing. No, dude, no. Okay, Nintendo are greedy. That's what it is. That again is the Occam's razor. The simplest solution is the correct one. Nintendo are cocky. They've had a hell of a success with the Switch, and just like with the Wii U, they are fucking up with the one after it. Just like they fucked up with the N64, and they fucked up with the GameCube, and then they fucked up with the Wii U, they are fucking up with the Switch too. Yes, this this system will sell massively in the first 6 months, and after that, it's anybody's guess. If they keep going the way they're going with the pricing model and the stripping back of content, it's only a matter of time until people stop engaging. Yes, you will sell games for $90 in the beginning. Congrats. Yes, the GameCube is great. The GameCube is fantastic. So is the N64. And there are a lot of games on the Wii U that I really like too. They all failed, financially speaking. There are going to be games coming out for this system in the next year that are going to sell to nobody. Because if you tell us that the price, it's the movie paradigm again. It's cinema tickets, right? You tell us you're tripling the price of admission. And we go, oh, that sucks. Don't do that. Then you get insulted by a bunch of people defending it. And ultimately what happens? You get 2 or 3 consecutive years like Hollywood has just had, where almost nothing makes any money. And the only time anyone will actually spend the money to go and engage with the thing, the ridiculous prices you're asking, the only time people will actually pay that money is when it is can't miss, must see, 11 out of 10, gotta have it, gotta play it, gotta go see it energy. So no one went to see Snow White. No one went to see Captain America. Everyone went to see Minecraft because their kids probably wouldn't shut up about it. And again, this is what will happen to the gaming industry. People will go to buy Nintendo games, and instead of owning like 30 or 40 games for the Switch 2, by the time it's all said and done, they'll own less than 10. Because they won't be able to afford to just have a flutter on an untested, unquantifiable experience. Yes, you might be saying, okay, well, a new Zelda's coming out. They're actually making a new Zelda. They're making a new Mario. They're making blah, 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 all this stuff. Wow. Okay, well, I'm going to have to get Mario. I'm going to have to get Zelda because they're excellent. Maybe Pokemon if you're that much of a fan, but although I'd throw that on the maybe pile. Everything else, oh, wow, Pikmin 5. That sounds like something I probably could live without. At $90? Nah, don't need it. I'll just go back on Steam and play some of my backlog. And this is what's going to happen. And it will be Atari the second. It will be the second crash of the video game industry. So the fact that plenty of us can see this as a realistic outcome, and then Jarrell can't. But Jarrell is talking to us as though he's the guy who has all the knowledge. He knows more than us. He can predict the future more accurately than us because he develops for the Switch too. And then he begins conducting himself like he's got insider access to Doug Bowser or something. It's main character syndrome. It's narcissistic, and it's absolutely antithetical to getting over on the internet. So it's unfortunate. And when the backlash got too much for him, he crashed out. I know yesterday everyone was in Hypno's chat. I was on the side that this is true. This is not a troll. This is him crashing out. The reason I thought that was mostly because of the fact that he blinks. Like, he was blinking every 2 seconds. He was blinking before every second word out of his mouth. It was like blink, 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 blink. And if you know anything about the psychology of blinking, you will know that people who blink a lot are usually telling the truth. They're usually telling the truth if they are also maintaining eye contact and things like that. He obviously wasn't reading. He obviously hadn't rehearsed. It wasn't actually a troll. He crashed out. He tried to make it look like a troll, but it's a crash out. He has now deleted that video. People don't delete videos where they have successfully trolled people. They don't. So yeah, he came back, and after saying, I'm no longer going to talk about industry, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to make positive videos, only going to make positivity videos now. We're going to talk about this, blah, blah, blah. So we got this video where he just doubled down and shat all over everyone. And now, most recently, we have this video that went out about a quarter of an hour before the show went live, where he's shouting out Hypnotic, Smash JT, and RadART. But before I watch that, I want to catch up properly with the other video, the one that went out before that, because I didn't even get to properly watch it. And I want to see the tone and react to it properly. It's annoying enough that I can't react to the actual crash out video in full on this show as I wanted to, but hey, this guy is rapid fire melting down. He's going off the deep end so quickly that it's actually hard to keep up. It's like I said to the guys in the Biggitverse when we were discussing this yesterday. I was like, fucking guy is going crazy at such a rate that a video I recorded 3 hours ago that wasn't scheduled to go out until later is now irrelevant. I'm going to have to drop it early. So I had to change the order of my videos coming out yesterday just to keep up with this guy's meltdown. It's clear that he's a very nice man. Don't get me wrong. I still think the guy at heart is a force for good. Well, we'll see if I still feel like that in half an hour. But at the ultimate end of it, he's probably too nice for the internet. The internet is a place where social norms and politeness get you nowhere. You have to be ready that at any given moment, you may encounter someone who vehemently disagrees with you and wants to make it about that, wants to go completely in your face with it. Deal with it. Anyway, let's watch this. Let's watch this and see just exactly how it all went down.
Hey, it's good to see you. Welcome. All right, so I think I can finally tell you what I've been working on. I've had a...
See, straight out of the gate, disingenuous as fuck. Okay. All right. So I went nuts and I had a crash out, and now I'm back and I'm smiling and I'm saying peace right at the beginning. And I'm like, right, well, now the coast is clear. Now I got rid of, 10% of the amount of awful trolls that I wanted to get rid of. I can finally tell you what my master Machiavellian plan was for you all. It's like, buddy, you're a YouTuber, okay? Fuck's sake.
A couple people reaching out to me over the past week or so asking about some of my previous videos.
Is it loud enough?
They've been asking if I'm all right, if things are all right, and I really appreciate all of you reaching out to me. It's been so great. People asked about the tone. They felt like something was a little off in the tone in some of my previous videos. So before they explain that, I want to let you know where my priorities are with this channel.
The tone wasn't off. He was maintaining the same tone. It's just that he had changed his target from the companies to the fans. Okay. I don't know how long you guys have been part of this, but I've been part of this for a long time. I used to watch Jim Sterling back in the old days, 2010, 2011, early Jimquisition era. He used to make sense. I know he was always a whack job, but he used to make sense, and he was 1000% on the customer's side. Once again, I choose to use the word customer because I feel like the word consumer effectively makes us akin to pigs being fed slop, because we'll accept anything. So I do not like the word consumer at all. This guy has followed a similar trajectory, a subtler version of it for sure than Jim Sterling, but little by little he has pivoted. He has pivoted to attacking the fans, frankly, and it's unfortunate.
Right now, over the past few months, I've been noticing more and more people. I've lost count of all the people that are saying that their week is tough. They just have such a tough work week, and that my channel is something they look forward to. My channel brings them positivity. It's a place where they can have a laugh. They can relax and just chill. And
okay, YouTube channels can do that. Yes. I would argue that until you are live streaming with your audience and engaging in that tone, you aren't really providing a place to chill. You are just a source of entertainment. Videos are a step away from that. You're one step removed from direct contact with your audience. It's why a lot of people don't get into streaming, because the thought of it is kind of intimidating at first. What if I say something stupid? What if I fuck up? You know, that kind of thing. I would not recommend that Sungrand begin live streaming. But I used to watch all these. I used to watch Normie Tube back in the day. And yeah, you used to get people who'd be like, well, my life's going so down the drain. I'm so glad I have this channel to watch. Makes me feel you develop parasocial relationships. And that's fine, I suppose. It's not very healthy for people to to attach themselves to pointless positivity for the sake of it. It's better to live in reality and talk sense with the people that you stream with and work with and the people you watch and engage with on YouTube. Much better. But the point is, you need to... He's like he's trying to act like some groovy guidance counselor right after having a meltdown in another video. And there's no question at this point. The fact that that video, the one where he crashed out or was trolling, the fact that he then made this video to justify it, rapid fire, by the way, and then deleted that video proves 100% that that was not a troll. That was a real mental crash out, and he was trying to cover for himself. And I understand that too. I do. The problem is the only way you can come back from something like that is to say, guys, I had a really, really dumb take, and I apologize. I'll try not to let that happen again. I value you as an audience, that kind of thing. Just own it. Don't come back and try to act like it's all part of a master plan, especially when the master plan is this.
And that really meant something to me. The fact that I could maintain this channel and bring people something positive, but there was a problem. Because of the content that I was creating in regards to the games industry, it was bringing in a lot of subscribers who were ruining that vibe. I keep a close watch.
This is the kind of shit that you hear from leftoids. Well, all these nasty people have come in and now they're making it awful and toxic. No, they're just living in reality. And they're more robust than your audience generally are. And they're able to deal with the fact that the world is falling to shit and stand up and say, no, we don't want this. And we appreciated what Sungrand Studios was doing in that vein, because he was doing it in a bit of a more subtle, a bit more nuanced way, which is great. It was funny. It was hilarious. I put this guy's videos on this very show a couple of times. Just laughing at the video where he pretends to be on the phone to Yves Gilmour and tells him that RPG Maker is on sale on Steam so that he can teach his devs how to develop a video game. It's classic. It's hilarious. It's very, very funny. But he's conflating here having a dry, intelligent, witty sense of humor with being an actual super genius who gets to tell us what kind of content is good for us. It's never going to work on the internet, buddy.
On the comments, and there are people who want to come here for positivity and relax, and they were expressing that they were just kind of bummed out by the killjoys that were coming into the comment section, just ruining everything with their negativity and
that's life, dick.
Spreading hate and looking for hate content. And they were, you know,
no. You see, again, right away, you are now sounding like a leftist. This channel of mine is not a hate channel. Okay, I criticize industries and art forms that I feel have let me down. I feel have let you down. I feel have gone after the fans, which is a terrible strategy. It's the basis of the channel. It's why I have no tolerance for people attacking their own audiences. It's a terrible, terrible thing to do. You should never, ever do that. Because at the end of the day, what is the point of having a channel where you alienate your audience? You might as well be Doctor Who.
Not so supportive when I just wanted to do funny educational stuff. So I decided.
Okay, buddy. You know how you get rid of those subscribers? The people you don't want watching your channel? You just start making content that they won't enjoy. You just make the content you want to make. And if that gets a lot of criticism in the comment sections, pretty soon those people, if you just ignore them, will go somewhere else. They'll unsubscribe to you. They'll go to another channel that gives them what they are looking for. Whether you classify that as hate content or we call it reality, because life is like that. Life is not sunshine and rainbows, buddy. It's not. Especially with the people in the world doing what they want to do to us.
Decided that I want to focus this channel entirely on bringing people positive.
There is another element of this, and I do need to address it because it wouldn't be fair to not address it. Some time ago, not too long ago, this fella, Jarrell, seems to have lost a friend, someone very close to him, to, I believe it was cancer. And to be honest, like, I can completely see why you need to take a break and distance yourself from the evils of the world if you are combating them. When my mother died, I had to take like a couple of weeks off from this channel. I couldn't motivate myself. It all seemed frivolous at the time because something terrible had just happened. And it takes time for you to get back on the horse. And you know, as a result, that's it's tough stuff. It's different for everybody, of course. But you do eventually have to get back on the horse. But maybe you don't just carry on and try and massively pivot your content away from anything that might hurt your feelings, especially if your audience are counting on you to take their side and represent them in what is a war.
Positivity. I want this channel to be a place where you can hang out, you can relax, you can have fun, and you...
Yeah, for 10 minutes until your video's over, and then what? Like, that's what I don't get about that vibe, that sort of groovy guidance counselor vibe. Like, if you're live streaming and you're talking to your audience, and you know, and you're enjoying that connection to the audience, like I'm reading your comments right now, watching this. Bursting your bubble is not hate, correct? You know, that's different. That's where it's like, okay, this is for the, you know, these are open hours. When you're live, it's open. The channel is open. Welcome, come in, have a chat with me. I don't feel that videos accomplish the same thing quite as well. They're great. Obviously, you can't only live stream. You'll never get anywhere. You have to make videos, but they're more like, you know, I'm going to tell you what I think for 10 minutes. Hopefully you enjoy it. I'll read your comments. It's going to be fun, but it's not the same as being like, hi, let's all have a chat together about this and experience it at the same time together. That's when it becomes like a place, not like a channel that you're watching, a TV channel, you know?
You shouldn't have to worry about people in the comment sections just pushing negativity onto others.
Why? I mean, I know he can't answer me because it's a video. He's not live right now. Why shouldn't you have to worry? I mean, first of all, you shouldn't be worried about people coming in with negative comments. You've put yourself out there on the internet. You're going to get some negativity. It's inevitable. It's like going outside. You might get wet if it rains. Fucking deal with it.
Other people. And I'm not this big professional YouTuber, so I don't exactly know how to handle or manage all of.
James up for 5. Keep in mind he knows many people with cancer as he volunteers to play music for cancer patients. You see that? Yeah, you're right. You're right. Of course, as I've said, and I'm not moving on this. The guy is fundamentally baseline a really nice guy, and more power to him for doing that. That is a very difficult thing that a lot of people would shy away from, facing death that readily. It's not something that's for everybody. A lot of people who end up surrounded by that much death and despair in the world will need something positive to counterbalance it. Maybe being a YouTuber is not for them. I appreciate you though, James up. Thank you.
this. So what I knew was I had to somehow get a lot of people to unsubscribe from my channel, and I wasn't exactly sure how to do that. But when
Okay. So now you want us to believe that you put that video out just to get people to unsubscribe. Why didn't you just change your content? Now you are a beacon. Now you have made yourself the story. Now more people than ever are covering you. This is not the correct way to go about getting people to unsubscribe from your channel.
the topic of the Nintendo Switch 2 came up, and I saw that people were getting riled up and highly emotional, and I knew that a portion of my subscribers would be looking for anger and hatred. They're looking for me to, stick it to them.
Okay, so in essence, what you're saying here now is that this has all been part of some Machiavellian scheme to sabotage your own YouTube channel by staging a crash out, by staging a meltdown. I'm sorry, I do not believe it. I do not believe it. He was genuinely fucking seething in that other video. He was not reading. His eyes weren't moving. He was looking dead at the camera and blinking with every word that came out of his mouth. He was thinking live. He was making up what he was saying as he went along. Maybe some portion of it was inflated beyond reality to be hyper real. And in that sense, he could classify it as a troll job. But really, there was too much truth in what he was saying. He was clearly very upset, very angry about the way that people were treating him. We know he was being roasted by people like Fratanga, etc., etc. I mean, that guy is a joke anyway, but, you know, that's what was going on. McDizzle was attacking him. He was getting all this crap from the fence-sitting contingent. I like to think I conduct myself a bit better than that as a person when I'm not arguing directly with the left on X. Then I'm just ratchet as fuck. But he clearly got affected by it. He clearly opened the door to a room where people will tell him what they think of him, and not everyone is going to like him.
Show Nintendo. I saw the.
So you're saying you saw an opportunity here to sabotage your channel and get people to unsubscribe. If that was your goal, all you had to do was stop making the content that people liked, and soon they would all be gone. Yes, there would be a week or two where there'd be a lot of comments like, what the hell's happened to this channel? Is blah, 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 blah. Right? But then the people will just stop. They'll just unsub and they'll go elsewhere. You'll notice it because your views will go down.
Opportunity to create content with very deliberate phrasing and tone that I...
What is this supposed to be? You're using like psychological suggestion or something, buddy? I don't think so.
I knew that my genuine audience, the people that come here to just have fun, to have some positivity, I knew those people would not be offended. I knew that you guys would know something is up. Because I talked to you guys directly in the comment section. I know you're intelligent people. I know you're funny people. Because so many comments, I'm laughing.
So he's talking about his core audience of positivity peddlers. Okay.
Laughing out loud. And I knew that you guys would understand what was up. So
you're saying that you had a very small audience of hyper intelligent, super nuanced and intellectually sensitive viewers who had been diluted by a bunch of angry gamer chuds. And you wanted to get rid of the angry gamer chuds, so you melted down to get people to mass unsub.
Basically, what I've been doing with my videos over the past 2 weeks or so is I've been using phrasing, language, and tone that I knew would upset people who want to push negativity onto other people.
See, that is the fundamental flaw. Now you sound like a leftist. Now you sound like Alyssa Mercante or Booty Adams or whoever. People pushing negativity. If that's your incredibly simplistic definition of what we're doing here, then fine. You're welcome to it. You are still wrong. It is not negativity to live in reality, accept that things could be better, and decide you're going to stand up and do something about them. That's what you had performed as someone in that vein, and so we latched onto you. Okay, we got a guy here who's happy to troll the games companies on behalf of the fans. Great, because let's face it, the state of gaming is a very negative one right now, and it probably won't go anywhere for a while. The positivity comes from being able to engage with that and have some fun doing it whilst acknowledging that everything is shit. It's not to dwell on the negativity. It's to turn that negativity into a positive thing by banding together against it. None of us are. This is why I get like I have so much fun with the people I argue with on X, because they think I'm miserable. They think I'm some miserable basement dwelling troll who has to destroy everything. No, I'm actually a very happy dude. Very happy. This is one of the best eras of my entire life. It's been great. The last couple of years, by and large, have been wonderful. I've got to meet some really kick-ass people. I've got 47 of you watching right now. Very happy. I got a nice family life. I got a lot of great things going on. I have nothing to complain about, really. So no, I reject your hypothesis entirely that the people you perceive to be negativity peddlers are in fact that. It's just that we are more ready and willing to live in reality and interact with it, combative as it might end up getting, than you and your apparent audience of hyper galaxy brains are.
People who are looking for rage bait content, people who are looking just to hate something.
You said rage bait, unironically, dude. It's over. It's over.
Those people were ruining the experience of my channel for other people. Those people were coming into this comment section just ruining the vibe, and I don't want that. I don't want
You want an echo chamber
channel where people just feel uncomfortable in the comments.
This is the problem as well. He acts like he's that much smarter than all of us, and this was all a big plan. But the thing is that he's new to this. Some of us are steeped in it. We've seen this stuff go down before. I've seen YouTubers go crazy, melt down, and start insulting their audiences and call them all negativity and trolls and blah, 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 blah. What he's doing here is nothing different. It's just a more subtle, more nuanced, more wordy version of that, because he doesn't know how to articulate it properly. And yet he's arriving at the same exact words, terms, phrases, and insults that we hear every single day from the people who oppose us. He's decided to oppose us. It's unfortunate.
Comment section. And I knew that this decision was going to make people really dislike me. I knew that it was...
I don't dislike him. I don't. I actually still think he's a really good dude. I really think that if he carried on with what he was doing, he would have continued to grow and done really, really well. He doesn't want to. Okay. That's all you had to say, man.
It's going to bring harassment towards me personally. And
harassment? Now we're at harassment. We've got rage bait, trolls, negativity, and harassment. Do you see what you're turning into yet?
Had to calculate, is this something
Geralissa
that I'm willing to take on for the benefit of getting people to unsubscribe so that the channel can just focus on being a positive, cool place. And it didn't take me...
Groovy, guys. Yeah, it's got to be all cool and positive. Come on, cool cats. Yeah, let's be like the groovy fucking band camp where I'm your counselor and everything. Yeah, fucking look, I understand. You don't want to do it anymore. Just say that. I don't want to get involved in this anymore. It's making my life less happy. I don't feel like I'm cut out for this. If you are expecting me to continue making rage content or whatever he wants to call it, or if you want me to like fucking continue to make content where I'm challenging and criticizing the game industry, I think you're going to find over the next few weeks that my content's going to change and move away from that. I understand if you don't want to stick around and stay subscribed. In fact, I would encourage you to unsubscribe if you're not into what I'm going to be doing on this channel. Thank you very much for your support, but it's done. That's all you had to say. People would have got the message. A couple of videos later, they would have gone, oh, fuck, he's serious. All right. Nice knowing you, bud. Go in peace. But no, you had to crash out. And then you come back and you try to tell us that it was all a ploy to make us unsubscribe because we're so simple and stupid and powered by negativity and harassing trolls, rage babe. Oh my God. What have you done, dude?
Long to decide. I mean, I knew that's exactly what I wanted. I want to make this a cool place for you guys. And that means that I can't.
You just look at some of the comments here. I've got a comment here, but there's loads of these. Your current claim is to get the haters' negativity out. I will purposely deceive my entire audience, incense them so that some of them leave. Oh, fucking hell. There we go. So that some of them leave and the true believers will remain. I'll be frank. I subscribe to a YouTube channel, not a cult. You say you're a YouTuber. You say you're not a YouTuber, but I say that you have clearly become one. Why else would you care so much about what your audience thinks? Correct. If you admitted that, then people could give you advice on how to be a better YouTuber. Trust is a currency that's easy to lose and hard to gain. And for someone who prided themselves in their upright principles to claim they pulled a big brain move to own the haters, please do not lie. You know this is essentially what you said. This is against what I believed you stood for. I took you for your word. If you really wanted to weed out bad actors, the best way to do that would have been to be happy and successful while uplifting creators with minds alongside you. Instead, you removed your breakdown video and bragged about manipulating people who cared to watch you. Also, negativity is not a blanket bad thing, but neither is positivity always good. Based on your corporate background, I expect you to know how bad toxic positivity is. He was arguing against toxic positivity a few weeks ago. Suit Jarrell knew when healthy negativity was necessary. You know how it looks. Normal human being, man, that the numbers got to your head. The social media platform's algorithm bent you over and you betrayed the trust of the people, more people than you bargained for. I can't believe I have to ask this, but whether dead friends are lied to. Oh, that's too far. That's too far. But still, very good comment. Gaslighting is a form of psychological manipulation where someone is made to doubt their own perception of reality, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to take my leave. I don't think I contributed to the hate or anything like that, but I have to leave with the group that was targeted. It makes me sad because I genuinely enjoyed being here, blah, blah, blah. Something feels off about this guy. Look, none of these people know each other, and they're all arriving at the same conclusions. The same conclusions that I'm arriving at. Sociopathy. The guy's lost it. Gonna have to see myself out. You could say I'm disappointed in you. You dropped the ball here. If you really wanted to address your haters, you should have simply said, if you disagree with my opinion, to unsubscribe and simply move to the next topic. Yeah, I should. This is like pulling a it's just a prank, bro, after making an excessively narcissistic video saying you owned us while belittling us, then making an ass of yourself by acting as if you've done nothing wrong, and as if you're humble now by saying it was all part of an elaborate plan. This is beyond embarrassing at this point. By negativity, he means criticism, by the way. He couldn't handle people disagreeing with him, so he threw a tantrum. It's obvious. Weird flex. That clip here made me unsub. I never participated in the comments except to tell you that I'm worried about your friend, but that here, I have no time for these kind of games. This channel is entertainment, and you intoxicated it because of comments. Have fun with your channel, Jarrell. Yeah, this video, I guarantee you, this video has resulted in more unsubscribers than the last one. Because last one, he was going crazy. And a few people among us were like, is he okay? I'm a bit worried about him. Now it's like, haha, I fooled you, you obvious retarded gamer chud scum. It was all a ploy to make you unsubscribe. Ha ha, you fell for it. Now it's like, okay, so now you're insulting our intelligence and using the same kind of lingo that people like Alyssa Mercante would use. So, all right, buddy, that's enough. That's enough. Now I'm out, okay? I'm not unsubscribing, by the way. I want to see where this goes. But it's bonkers. Anyway, let's get to the actual event then that's happened in the last hour, where he has come out with a new video called Thank You, Hypnotic, Smash JT, Dark Titan Enterprises, Keep Going. Now, I haven't seen any of this yet at all. I know some of you seen it. I think Hypno already reacted to it. Cool. Let's find out what's up.
Hey, guys. Thanks for joining me. It's Jarrell.
It's hilarious, by the way, because it's incredible to watch like my friends get like everyone shouts them out for this stuff. Like they're really making waves. It's fucking cool to see. But again, if you think that going after our particular group is a good idea, you're gonna have a bad time, buddy. But whatever. Let's just see what he says.
Hey guys, thanks for joining me. It's Jarrell. So I want to address a topic that I've never addressed before. There's a couple YouTube content creators out there who have been working towards a goal, and I have been...
It's more than a couple, buddy.
Trying my best to support the efforts that we were working towards. And I don't think I've really ever named names on the channel or anything like that. And of course, I'm a professional working in the games industry, and I've been trying to use my experience and my understanding of how industries work to help you guys.
So is this going to be him bowing out and saying, hey, you guys keep the fight up, I can't participate? Because if that is where he's going with this, then great. That's what you should have done at the start. And of course, Hypno's tried to get him on SNH. I said a couple of times, we need to get this guy on SNH. It would be brilliant to talk to him.
And I don't think I've ever really talked directly much with all of you. So Hypnotic, Smash JT, RadART, and a number of other of you as well. I didn't realize how much fun I was having with you guys.
Is he crying? He's choked up.
And when
he's choked up. Whoa. He really is, isn't he? Like he is emotional. You can see the change of color around his eyes, the puffing up. He's choking his breath
as well. I didn't realize how much fun I was having with you guys.
You hear that little crack in his voice there when he says that? See, if this is the redemption arc, this is the fastest plummet and redemption arc I've ever seen. Let's just see what he says.
And when we were posting videos together, it felt like we were on a team.
Well, yeah, you were invited to join the team.
And it was so great.
He is. He's
and
choked
the work
up.
that you guys are doing for the industry is so important. And I have to be very careful about what I say. Because
welcome to Gamergate, buddy. But again, why was all this other shit worth doing? All this Machiavellian shit. Why was it necessary? You should have just said this.
I'm working in the industry. And so over the past months, I've been having to make some considerations. And then over the past few weeks, I have made the decision to move the channel towards focusing on just positive content.
That's fine. Again, this is the video he should have made. Look, fucking hell. Every time, this guy is hard to keep up with. Like, not 5 minutes ago, I'm telling him, like, this is insulting. What are you doing? You're using this fucking language. Like, what are you doing, buddy? Stop. Now he's, like, in earnest saying thank you. I thought he was going to be, like, a sarcastic bastard to him, but not.
That is a decision that I've made for the viewers of my channel.
See, now he's reading.
The people who enjoy watching my content, who really just want a positive place to hang out. But I hope you'll understand my position in the industry, that the way that I have been addressing topics was starting to get a bit too direct.
You could have said this. You could have just made this video 2 days ago. I feel like he's actually at odds with himself. I feel like he probably wanted to just say this. He didn't need to melt down, attack the fans, and then try and pass it off as some kind of random ploy. He could have just said this.
And that puts me at risk professionally.
That's fine. That is completely understandable. He works in the game industry. He has an obvious relationship with Nintendo. He develops their games. Okay. Anybody could have told him, like, predicted. I mean, that was the first thing I said when I didn't do a video about it. I haven't covered him in a while because he was going down this route of having to toe the party line for Nintendo, which made it pointless for me to cover him, pointless for me to feature him. But I understood, because unlike what he has said in his previous videos, I'm not actually a stupid kid. Okay? Neither stupid nor a kid. Not all kids are stupid, of course. Not remotely. But that's not what I'm saying. I'm not a clueless person. If we are actually quite intelligent, us gamers, you know, otherwise we wouldn't have achieved anything. Okay? It would be quite impossible for us to have done the damage we've done to things like Sweet Baby Inc. if we weren't intelligent. Can we let him finish the sentence? All right, I'm sorry. I just feel like this whole attitude of like pretending to, like, you either pretend to crash out or you crash out and then you pretend that it was all part of a scheme or a scam, or like antagonizing people and then thanking them. It wasn't hard to see why he was taking Nintendo's side. He works for them. So very simple.
Professionally, if you can understand what I'm saying. And so I didn't want to have to talk about this in case certain people see this. But I just wanted to directly thank all of you, Hypnotic, Smash, RadART, and of course, many others.
You were always going to have to do this eventually. No one wouldn't understand this. If it became too close to home. Yeah, you see, I don't know. I'm pausing it because I don't want to just watch somebody else's video on my channel. I'm not Hassan Piker. I need to pause it and interact with it. That's what's called a reaction. And I'm just kidding. But like they obviously, you know, someone probably mentioned something to him and it made him scared for his job. I understand. It sucks. But no one on our side, despite what people might say about us, would ever say, fuck your job. Fuck your ability to make ends meet. Join the revolution. No, you do what you can. Do what you can. If you can make a channel and join the fight, go ahead. If you can't, don't. If you can contribute financially or in some other way or creatively to support somebody else or promote somebody else or mod on their channel or something, these little things, they all matter. No one's going to say compromise yourself and your ability to do anything. We've all seen what happens when people get too much info about you. It's completely understandable that he would have to do if he had to choose. Completely.
But I want to thank you for what you guys are doing. And I know that you get people that dislike you and hate you and say that you suck. I believe in you guys. And I want to thank you for what you've done. And I've had so much fun making videos with you guys.
See, I had no idea that he was this aware of us. Genuinely, I did not know. Yeah, sorry for pausing it too much. I understand. It's because I was trying to arrange my thoughts, and this was such a wild departure from what I was expecting. I was trying to catch up with it myself, so it was kind of difficult. So apologies for that.
But because of the direction that I have to take and I've chosen to take, I realized this morning after Hypnotic posted a video and I was in the thumbnail, that was the moment I realized I won't be able to support you guys in the same way. I won't be able to make videos the same way to support you guys, if you know what I mean.
If you think I'm bad pausing for this, you don't want to watch a movie with me. Not a movie that I love anyway. I'm a pause Nazi.
And so I have to find other ways to support you guys, but I hope you understand. It can't look a certain way, if you know what I mean. So
yep, understand, completely understand.
Publicly, it has to look a certain way.
Look, here you go. It's just a real simple thing to explain once again. If this is a war, then he was a spy. Okay, that's all it is. Simple. And now his cover's blown. He has to get out. All right. It's getting too hot. You got to get out. Totally understandable. And thanks. What was all that other shit then? Why? I think he was just at odds with himself. I think the crash out was more about the fact that he was having to bow out and he doesn't want to. Clearly doesn't want to. Clearly he believes in Gamergate, for want of a better word. Clearly he supports this movement. Now you see, it makes sense again now. God damn it, Jarrell, you're such a cryptic bastard. Why you do this to us, man? Like, you don't have to be, you see? You just come out and say, you know what, guys, I've had a great time working with you lot and contributing my share of the content to the cause that I believe in. But unfortunately, my bread is buttered on the other side, and I have to go where the money is. I have to go where my lifestyle will be supported. I have to go where I'll be able to continue, the way it is. And that's totally understandable too. Before they make an example of him, which they will. This is what I've suspected from the very beginning. It's just proving what I thought, that yeah, he's as a game dev, eventually it was going to get too hot for him. Fair enough. It was one thing when he was attacking a company he doesn't work for, but when he has to get involved in the cause against the company that he makes games for, that's going to become a very big conflict of interest for him. And that is, again, completely understandable. Only do what you can, dude. It's fun. Yeah, keep it simple, stupid. Exactly. Unbelievable. I mean, this is the funny thing is like, Jarrell, all is forgiven then if this is how you really feel. All we needed was for something to make sense. This makes sense. You can't stick around. You can't keep being a double agent. That's fair. That's totally fair. All the best. We'll keep going. Some folks are really in deep. I mean, look at fucking Smash JT and the shit he's dealing with. But it's too far along for him. Now, for him, it's forward or bust. He's going to have to go through Alyssa Mercante. Because there is no other way. But at the same time, other people are in different positions. Not everyone is in the same position. Maybe he'll pop back up with an anonymous channel. And a voice changer. Who knows? Maybe he already has. But this is fine. This is fine. Okay, you can't keep going. No problem. Totally understandable. That's all you had to say.
Professionally, I think you get what I mean.
Yes,
so
we do. See, we're not stupid. We understand what you're trying to say. Look at this. Now he's like, I think you understand what I mean. Yeah. We're not the idiots that you tried to portray us as in the last couple of videos. To be fair, everyone's been through a list.
I just wanted to say thanks. And I didn't realize how...
when I said, sorry, I'm pausing again. When I said he's going to have to go through Alyssa, that's what I was thinking too. Not like that.
And I didn't realize how bummed out I would be. I can't make videos with you guys anymore. I can't make videos the same way. So my channel will be strictly positive stuff for a number of reasons.
Yeah, and reasonable reasons. You see? Just tell us this.
But in my previous video, I explained I have been trying to make it so that people who don't want the positive stuff, people who just want the sort of the content that I was making before, I take responsibility for, that was attracting people that wanted negativity. And that was something that I didn't understand all that well, because I'm not a professional YouTuber, and I'm well aware that you guys are much better at this than me. I know that I'm not good at YouTube. I don't really understand it, and I've said this many times. I don't really understand YouTube. But I'm going to do my best. So I have to portray things positively, and I'm going to make sure that my channel focuses on education and fun.
There's a lot we can learn from this too. And a lot of subtext that we can take from this. Yes, he said there, it's a bit of a tell. He said, I have to. That part is important to remember. He says, I have to portray things as positive. Right. Okay. The one person who's ever actually finally just said that, he has to do it. Okay. Do you understand what I mean? Yes, he got talking to by corpos, exactly. Yeah, his hands are tied. He has to do it this way. This is how it has to be. Okay? It sucks. I know maybe you guys will feel differently. Maybe he's a sellout. Maybe he's blah, blah, blah. I honestly don't feel that way. Men have to make decisions like this in their lives. Look at it look at it like Commissioner Gordon and Batman. There's a very good analogy, I think. It's like, think of the last scene of The Dark Knight. There's a great analogy. And to you, Jarrell, see, the fact that I can conjure an allegory like that is the very reason that you should have just come out and said the truth at the start. Yeah, he has been told you have to stop making this anti game industry content. And we know that the game industry works that way because we've had enough freaking indications of that. We have. But this is actually helpful, this video, because he is showing us again that they do watch, they do pay attention, that they are rattled by us, and that he's been told he has to toe the line, and he has decided, sadly, that he has to toe the line. Okay, your situation may vary from ours. That's totally fine. I understand. So he crashed out, then he played it off like it was all some big Machiavellian scheme to felt the gamers. Ha ha ha. He used words like harassment and rage bait. And that, you see, is why it seemed so weird, because I believe this version of him that we're seeing in this video is far more in line with the guy we have enjoyed watching. This guy is the guy who made those videos that we all enjoyed. This guy has been told he has to go back to just, pimping out the game industry. Fine. Maybe you guys are disappointed in him. I'm not. I'm not disappointed in him. He has a role to play. And he has to make the decisions that are going to best suit him. If I was in his position, I would be thinking, is there a way I can continue to do this? Is there a way I can, But unfortunately, a lot of the validity of the content he makes is derived from the fact that we knew that he was a game dev. If he shows up with a faceless channel now, no one will know it's him. And if it gets out that it is him, then it will probably get back to them again. And once again, they'll tell him he has to shut it down or he's fired. You can read between the lines here, and you can see that a guy who's in a difficult position and has to bow out. And I can completely understand that. And I respect him more for saying this. It's better to just be open and honest and say, look, I can't continue this. You guys fight the good fight. I can't even tell you that I'll be obviously, frankly, supporting you and that you're right, because I have to do my part. I have to do this. You know, it's like I said, it's like Commissioner Gordon and Batman. We have to chase him. We have to, you know, he's going to run and we have to chase him. Even though he knows that he's actually the good guy. It's like that. All right. Great. I mean, this sucks, but it's better than what we had, because what we had was nonsense. Fucking nonsense. Cryptic, weird, insulting nonsense. Just should have said this from the start. You could make a worse video if you let your ADHD take over. Well, I would never speculate about such a thing.
And comedy. But it's been so great. And I want to say, Smash, Hypnotic, RadART, and many others, keep going, you guys. Keep going. We need you. And you know that I've believed in you. You know I've always believed in you, and I've championed you. Keep going. I'll have to find other ways to support you. I think you know what I mean. I'll have to do things a bit quieter from now on. So I just wanted to say thanks. And it's been a lot of fun. It's been so fun. It felt like I was on a team.
You were.
And that was really cool. All right, Hypnotic, Smash, Vera. I'll see you guys around. Don't worry. I'm still here. I will find a way to support you.
Wow. Damn, man. What a roller coaster. Fucking hell. What a roller coaster. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I respect him again. He won me back. He's won me back. Because there had to be a simple explanation. There is a simple explanation for everything. There always is a simple explanation. The frustration that 90% of us have with the game industry, with the entertainment industries in general, with the political side of things, is the obfuscation of the simple truth. They insult our intelligence day to day. What do you think the outrage at COVID was all about? Having our fucking intelligence insulted. So I don't know why he did this. This, like, was this supposed to be like his... This other video is like he's trying to antagonize to make it easier, like a guy wants to break up with a woman but doesn't have the balls to do it or something, and so he just acts like an absolute asshole until eventually she breaks up with him. Is that what you were trying to do here, buddy? You should have just nutted up and said the part that mattered in the first place, which is what you've just finally said. The truth is out. Finally, we have a simple explanation for all of this, why it's happened, why he's had to do what he's had to do. Okay, look, not everybody is in the position to rage against the machine, okay? Not everybody is in the position to be able to push out daily content criticizing the ever-loving fuck out of the game industry. The only reason that we're able to is because we don't work for the game industry and there's nothing they can do to silence us. Well, within reason. Apparently there are things that can be done by the unscrupulous fucking, you know, dark, brutal bastards who champion the game industry. But the game industry themselves, this is an eye-opener, actually, because you like to sort of imagine that the industry that you are raging against is paying some attention, but they are paying way more attention than I thought. Way more. Yeah, okay, you don't have to like what he's done here, but I think it, I mean, he probably should have apologized to the audience, but at least we have an explanation. One that is far, far easier to believe. Far easier. It's a very interesting time that we live in right now. Very interesting. Has anyone here ever pan-fried a frozen pizza? Oh, you saw that video too, did you? Look, all right. That is it then. The presumably the era of Sungrand Studios being a part of Gamergate is over. All right. It happens. It's unfortunate, but it does. The crash out and stuff, I think, was more that he was furious with the fact that he had to stop, had to sell out. So he tried to do it, tried to take some stupid, easy way out by going out of his way to antagonize the audience. When this was the simplest thing he should have done from the start. He literally just should have made this video. It would have been enough. It would have been all we needed. Boy, what a weird 24 hours it's been, eh? It's not even been 24 hours yet since we were all covering the first crash out video. You're half disgusted and half pissed off. All right. That's fine. That's fine. If you think this is a sellout, a cop out, that's totally fine. There's definitely an argument for that. I see it more as a tacit acknowledgement that he's got his hands are tied, that he's bowing out, and that hopefully he, that he probably ultimately does believe in what we stand for, but that because he certainly doesn't like DEI, but that he's not in the position to continue publicly supporting it, and that again sucks. Would have been much more efficient to just have said, look, I'm sorry, but I'm no longer in the position to continue this. Oh, the pizza, right. It was the pizza. Yeah. The pan fried pizza with the ketchup on it. Oh my god, it was fucking terrible, that video. Yeah, look, at the end of the day, what Jarrell does next is up to him. Personally, if it were up to me, I would reach out to some people privately and make them aware of next steps, and then go anonymous and just donate, send super chats, send memberships, or support in other ways, leak things. Of course, people are going to be looking at him for anything that might leak for a while. His cover's blown. He's been a double agent. That's effectively what it is. He now has to publicly, what's the word? Disavow while privately supporting. It's not like this hasn't happened time and time again, various times in history. So there you go. He works for Nintendo. So he has basically been, it seems, collared by Nintendo. And that's probably what started this entire strange little saga. And for some reason, he decided that it would be better for him to go full kayfabe and pretend that he hates us and has no interest in supporting anyone and that we're all evil and toxic. And then ultimately he realized that he's making a fool of himself, that he is becoming like just a couple of steps away from a lolcow, and that would actually harm his credibility more. If he actually truly does believe in the cause and wants to support it, it would be much harder to do that if he is going to also be, doing what he's doing. But the point is, you should have just done this. That's all I have to say about it. You should have just done this from the beginning. You can't. It's not like he can go out and say, hey, everybody, I'm no longer going to be making Gamergate videos because my boss told me off. He can't do that. My contact at Nintendo told me I will lose my independent developer contract or whatever it is. It's going to be that kind of thing. He's going to have to be told, he's going to have to, he can't say that. He can't say that. That's obvious. It's far too on the nose. It's not like he can go, oh, Janine, the secretary who works for this guy, who works for this guy, who works for this guy, who works for Doug Bowser, contacted me and told me I better shut my damn trap or I'm going to lose my income. Okay. And I'd be surprised if that's not exactly what happened based on this video. Because again, all I have is what he's last said. Tomorrow he might come back and tell us all we're a bunch of scumbags again. Who fucking knows? Maybe he is off the deep end. I think that of all the videos I've seen of his, and I've seen a lot, the only time in the last 24 hours of uploading and deleting videos that he's actually seemed like himself is this one. So I think, yeah, he was told that he has to stop making content. Maybe he said, well, okay, that's fine. I'm going to stop making content about anti-Nintendo content. I'm going to stop talking about the pricing. I'm going to stop shining a light on the pricing. Maybe he's got a ninja behind that green screen. Behind him with a katana in his back. You know, I don't fucking know. But it's pretty obvious that whatever set of circumstances has led to this, he's not at liberty to be able to just sack off his job and go down the full-blown YouTuber rabbit hole. He's not able to do that. Okay. Or he's not willing to. Or he can't see a path forward that would be successful for him, and that's fine. And he's not able to be as candid as he'd like. And so it becomes pointless. And again, all he had to do was say that. Just say what he said in this. He didn't even have to shout out Hypno and Smash. I mean, it's nice that he did, though, because, again, as part of that group, yeah, fucking, I mean, I can't imagine how they must feel about it. But even just being adjacent to them and hearing this is like, that's fucking great, man. Cheers. It sucks that you're not a part of it. But it also tells us an awful lot about the perception the game industry has of supposedly a vocal minority of irrelevant YouTube chuds. It's making much more noise than even we suspected, I think. But there you go. That's what I think. And of course, Hypno has, I think, already reacted to it, but he's going to be, no doubt, covering it in about, well, I would say 10 minutes, but it's Hypnocast, so it's more likely going to be about an hour before we get to the content. But yeah, I would expect he'll be covering it as well. So I'll be listening to that while I make my own videos. We'll wrap it up then, guys. We're here. It's an hour, 51 minutes, almost a goal. Not quite, but that's all right. I owe you guys a gaming stream. So I will definitely be doing a Suikoden stream in the next few hours. Of course, there's also WTF Live in 12 hours time. No doubt we'll still be talking about this, amongst other things. I did want to get to PlayStation, having done a survey on whether people want to buy Nintendo, which seems like market research to find out if it's clear for them to raise the prices of everything as well. So screw that. But yeah, there we go. I guess bittersweet, I suppose. Hopefully, if he has any sense now, he will actually stop. You know, we will actually he shrank the intro. I know he shrank the intro, yeah. I was just kind of, there was just a gentle roast. It doesn't really mean anything. Anyway, yeah, it sucks. It sucks that this is the way it's had to go, but I'd rather have this than what we were getting before. That the other videos were just fucking confusing. Just bloody confusing. But I am glad that we went through the whole gamut of available videos. We watched the other one before this because that other video was really pissing me off. And then he comes around and just goes, oh, actually, it's like this. Oh, right. That makes sense. Thanks, buddy. There you go. Anyway, that's all due. I'll be back in about 12 hours with WTF Live with Ryan and John. And before that, with Suikoden. And in videos. So make sure you watch them. If you're new around here, subscribe. Though I think everybody here is already subscribed. And I'll catch you probably in the chat of Hypnocast and various other times throughout the day. Have a great one. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you all. Very much so. Weird little roller coaster we went on today. Happy to do it with you guys. I'll leave you with the credits and I will catch you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. See you next time.